This week we celebrated St. Patrick's Day. And a question I get asked often is, why is this church named St. Patrick? We are named St. Patrick Presbyterian Church and not St. Patrick's Presbyterian Church, by the way. But the reason St. Patrick was chosen as a name is, first, we wanted to have a connection to the historic church. We wanted people to know and be reminded of the fact that what we're doing is bigger than Greeley 2020, that we're part of a story that is centuries old. But why did we choose St. Patrick in particular? St. Patrick, if you don't know, was the very first missionary who was not an apostle, the very first one that we know of, that is. And when St. Patrick, the story of St. Patrick goes like this. He was English or Welsh, maybe. He was captured by Irish raiders. He lived as a slave in Ireland for several years. He escaped and became a bishop or a deacon, some sort of church cleric. And at some point, in a dream, received a word which he believed from God to go back and take the gospel to Ireland. Now, that's an interesting story, but how he did it was very significant. Patrick, unlike so many Christian missionaries who followed him, did not start with Genesis chapter 3, but Genesis chapter 1. It's too many times. Christians, when they have sought to engage the culture, start with Genesis chapter 3, and they say, you're a sinner, and Jesus is your Savior. And that's important. That's a critical part of the story. It's simply not the beginning. The beginning of the story is this. It starts in Genesis 1. It says that you're created, or that man was created, in perfect harmony with his Creator, in perfect harmony with the rest of humanity, in perfect harmony with his environment, with his culture. And in Genesis 3, all of that was blown apart. It was broken and has remained broken. And so when Patrick went to Ireland, he started with Genesis 1. It would have been very easy to go to the Irish and say something like, stop creating such scary art, which they did. They were great artists, but a lot of their art was, a lot of the artifacts we found anyway, are quite frankly scary. It would have been easy to say, stop killing people. They were incredibly courageous, but their courage was proved on the battlefield. Instead, what Patrick did was to say something like this. He said, it's great that you create such wonderful art. It's great that you admire beauty, but that only points to a greater beauty and to an ultimate artist who has created this world in such a way that we are to glorify him. It's great that you are courageous, but let me tell you a story of a greater courage, a courage of one who proved courage not by taking life, but by sacrificing his life. And therefore, the Irish were called themselves to prove their courage, not by taking life anymore, but by sacrificing their life and laying down their life for their fellow man. And in starting with Genesis 1, what Patrick told the Irish is that they needed to begin a project of restoration. That's the real benefit of starting with Genesis 1, is that it gives us a place to return to. It tells us what's next. It gives us a way to engage our culture that says not stop being sinful, but that what you're pursuing and all of our sinful habits and all of our brokenness is right in a sense, but only rightly fulfilled in a relationship with our Creator. And so that's what we seek to do. We seek to take St. Patrick's model of mission and apply it to our own day, to say that we're about not just forgiveness. Again, forgiveness is a critical part of the story. And forgiveness enables everything else, but that we're about a project of restoration. And we want to use that forgiveness that we've received, that restored relationship that we have with our Creator, to begin to restore systems of education or the justice system or the medical system, to begin to recreate and restore ancient buildings like this one, or recreate art and music. It means that we understand what what we're called to do as Christians and to enter into the restoration that God is bringing about through His gospel.